Hello guys, it's Tuesday.
Hello there. Yeah, so a bit of a different week from us this week. So a lot of us are going to be working on Coloring Voxels.
Yeah.
So Jack and Laura are going to be learning the cubicle software that we're using, and I'm going to be making a lot of effort in Engine to sort of like make the main menu better. There's a lot of performance issues. I know the game currently has, so a lot of work on that. And Lee's going to be working on the Cats DLC for Waloop and some boring tax stuff. He has to write a GDD for Demeas. Fun.
Yeah.
Alright, this week is going to be a little bit different to what we are normally working on. The majority of it is going to be on a new project, Coloring Voxels. I know we've touched on this on the previous day vlogs, and we've done a couple of streams about it now. But essentially, because of some complicated tax reasons, we're basically going to have to quickly try and rush this project out. We were going to try and get a build submitted this month anyway, so that we could apply for Steam Next Fest. But yeah, so I think the plan is for three of us to do Coloring Voxels this month. And for me today, it's kind of boring stuff, but I've just been managing to get it to work on Steam. Something that we've done quite a few times before. It's very, very time consuming. There's a lot of things to set up, like all configurations for Mac and Linux, things like that. But yeah, it seems to be working. As you can see there, I just launched it. Everything seems fine. We've got a test branch running for it. Everything seems to be good. So fingers crossed, I can just queue up a build and people can test out the newest levels. Yeah, so I've just been working on the main menu a bit more on Coloring Voxels. So I'm getting there. It's just a bit awkward because we're using 3D UI, so it's a bit it's difficult. It's all stuff that we've made ourselves. I made a quick logo. That's not the final one we're going with. But the idea is that these two buttons are, well, you probably play Coloring Pixels. It's exactly the same. These two are like world select or book select for the different worlds. It's really laggy. I'm gonna have to improve on that so it really locks up when you click on them. But it's doing stuff, which is cool. And then this exit button works. Not a lot, but I'm getting there.
So yeah, one thing I've been doing yesterday and finishing up this morning is the Demeas project. It needs a document for the game design stuff. It's always good practice to get a game design document anyway, but it's mostly for the BFI certification, so we're going to do some tax stuff later in the year. Just realised this is a GIF, nothing's meant to be, but that's fine. We have been going through, that doesn't look right there. I'll make sure I'll fix that bit there, but yeah, I've been going through all the sections of the game design that I was working on with Cameron a few months back. And I've also been I've been revisiting some of the aspects as well, because obviously there was some aspects of the game like wanting to change anyway, so I've taken the time here to actually go ahead and add some extra notes about post-prototype stuff and what's been changed. Yeah, the document's done now, so a first draft. I'll save this now, let Rob give it a check over to make sure it's suitable, and then if it is, this will be something good that you'll be using for the certification and the tax stuff later in the year as well.
Okay, so I managed to get quite a lot done of my Coloring Voxels level, this sort of medieval sort of diorama here. And overall I'm quite happy with it so far. It is a bit bigger than what Laura's doing, so it is taking a bit longer than I thought it would, but I'm getting quite a lot done, a lot of detail incorporated into the level. As you can see here, I've finished off my little house here, which I've split up into 3 levels. So one's the bottom floor, there's the middle floor, and the last one's the sort of attic / roof. And you see here, I've tried to incorporate a lot of detail, or as much as I can, into each floor. However, Rob does seem to think that I could probably get away with a little more, so I'm going to go back to it and see what I can fill in. And you can see this is all the rest of the little levels I've been doing. I am trying to click on the middle floor, but it's not letting us. There we go. So you can see here, I've got the middle floor as well done. The little bed and a bookshelf with an attic ladder going to the top. And as for now, I'm taking that feedback that has been mentioned with adding a bit more of a interesting shape to the house, as it is sort of just cubic. So I am building a blacksmith sort of little hut over here, and you can see here I'm trying to mess around with some framework and adding a bit of a chimney that goes to the roof too. So as soon as I get this done, I'll show everyone what it looks like.
Yeah, so cracking on with Coloring Voxels, the main menu stuff still. Essentially the main bit of work I've been doing today is looking at the FPS. You see we're still at 60 FPS right now. We don't have any settings at the moment to turn VSync off, but I hope it's a lot better, because Coloring Pixels, one of the things that people liked was the fact they ran at like 2000 FPS. I don't think we'll get quite that good performance, but hopefully in the hundreds at least. So I just basically swapped out all of the the way that these cubes are rendered. So before there were each block was a cube in itself with 6 faces, and now it's only rendering the faces that are actually visible. So there's like inside this building, for example, here would be just like hundreds of cubes that just weren't visible at all. So that's all hollow now, which is very good, and we're using the instance graphics rendering as well. Which is cool. You just get more performance out of it. Yeah, and another cool thing is we've got sort of like an animation for loading in these worlds. So I assume we're going to do some time-lapse data like we've done with our other games. So when you complete a world, it'll like record the way that you did it and then play back a time lapse. But for now, I've just got this this sort of like dissolve, and then it builds up manually type of thing. And then we've got some of the levels that Jack and Laura have been working on. I'm sure they've done recordings with it, but yeah, we've managed to get them in game. One thing I did notice that with Laura's work here, and I assume Jack's, it's just difficult to tell, it's inverting them. So in the screenshot that Laura sent over, the bear was on the left and the frog was on the right. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't think it makes a difference. I'll have a look to see if I can fix it though. Then we've got Jack's tavern level here, which is actually split up into 3.
Hello! This week, Rob tasked me and Jack with some voxel art, Coloring Voxels levels, and I think Jack is more comfortable with this kind of art style. But for me, it definitely is. There's a lot to learn for me. Yesterday, I spent all day making this tiny little diorama. It's much easier to make it cute when the level is quite small. So now today I've been learning to make a nice cute level that is bigger, and it's been quite challenging.
Okay, so yesterday was a bit more of a grim day. As you can see here, I did manage to get quite a lot of the world done, including the blacksmith little area I showed off yesterday. Hopefully when you play the level, you'll be able to get a sneak peek at what's inside here and get a little hint that the chimney does go all the way down. However, I did build a full sort of cemetery scene right here in the floor here. So I sort of smoothed out this area and built in a whole cemetery, and that really filled in the design. However, unfortunately, my save did corrupt and I've lost that section of the world. So that was about an hour and a half of work, maybe 2 hours. So it was quite a bit daunting at the end of the day, but I've came in early today, the next day, to try get this done before the guys come in. So I've got the rest of the day to fill in the rest of the scene. So I'm going to time lapse it. I will see how quick we can get it done. Hopefully it'll be a bit quicker as I know what I'm doing now. I know what sort of design I want. So hopefully I can get it done fairly quickly.
So it's been a day of making more levels for the Cats DLC for Wooloop, and so far it's been pretty good, good going. So on the Trello board here, I've made 4 levels so far today. So this hieroglyphs level, obviously just got the cat in the centre. The Sphinx, it's a bit creepy looking, but it's how the cats look, so hopefully that's come across quite nicely. This silhouette idea was actually Rob's idea, just sort of a negative space sort of filling for the cat, and I think it's turned out pretty well. It plays quite nicely as well. Changed the colours just to give it a bit more of an interesting look, because originally all of the lines were just black, but that can be quite dull to play, so I changed them to a gradient, which I think works quite nicely. And then finally, as we've seen, this lucky cat here as well, just sort of like Japanese Chinese culture, the lucky cat with a waving arm. And yet they're all, as you can tell, a bit of a smaller scale, just because one of the problems we were seeing with Wooloop over the past year was that we slowly increased the size of levels, sort of like accidentally, just became a bit of a habit. So yeah, these smaller levels, hopefully they are fun to play, and yeah, once they've been tested, we'll see where we go from there.
Hello! I decided to look at more references, spend more time researching, and I found a style that I enjoyed looking at. I kind of decided to make the volcano a little bit more blocky, because I really liked how the first level came out, the farm one, with the little animals. Even though it was much smaller and simpler, I thought I could go bigger but still keep the blockiness. But then turns out it wasn't done in the right way, and it's just like a scene where there's just a volcano, but it should have been a bigger scene with a volcano just being one of the 16 things. So I tried again today. Where is it? Oh, here. I also switched to a different voxel creator. This one's called Voxel. It's a very strange name, but it works better in general than the cubicle. At least I find it much easier to work with it, even though it doesn't have some features that cubicle does. But yeah, I tried making the volcano again, but as part of a bigger scene. I think I'll start to run out of space soon, but I might just make the whole area bigger.
Yeah, so today has been a bit of a slog, honestly. So we're hitting some performance issues. We have spent some time earlier in the week getting the performance down quite well. So inside, if you go inside the blocks here, you can see that it's a bit awkward because it's moving. But you can see that like the internal faces aren't being rendered. You won't be able to notice this normally, but it does really help with performance a lot. But it isn't quite enough for the size of the worlds that we want to be making. So this is just like a temporary thing we've got at the moment. It's only got 3 levels, so we want to go for 16 for every world, in theory, which Jack has done here for the medieval one. And you see that it hitched a bit. We've actually removed one of the levels that he's done here. You see the FPS is dropping like a considerable amount now with this, and this is without the biggest level that you had, so the entire flooring isn't even rendered here. So we are having a bit of issues. A lot of it is just because the actual like computation on how we're like drawing the faces is all CPU bound. So I've been trying to make it instead of just like a bit technical, but instead of just running it in the update method, which runs on the CPU, make it a burstable job which runs on the graphics card. So all of this CPU usage, which is in blue here, we should be able to basically remove that, only leaving a tiny amount left. It doesn't help that we've got a lot of allocations here. These are like where it's a bit difficult to, when you're creating or destroying like large things like arrays and things like that, you get allocations, and these are really bad because it's memory management is slow. So we need to get rid of these and make the job burstable. So I'm hopeful we can get the FPS running really good, but it's just a bit awkward at the moment to get it to work.
A little bit of fun, that's become a little bit of a weird tradition in ToastieLabs, is this sort of Easter egg jar. So getting close to Easter, just have a bit of fun in the office. I put together this jar full of various size eggs, and then it's just a case of everyone's going to guess how many's in the jar. I'll count them all out, and then whoever's get the closest number, I'll win the whole jar of eggs. But yeah, I prepped it a bit early this year. We'll be doing it next week because next week's actually Easter week. So yeah, put some comments below how many you think's in, and we'll find out in the next video how many eggs are in the jar.
Okay, so I've just got finished doing sort of the first pass of the medieval level world, for Coloring Voxels. I can see here it's pretty much content complete. I did send off the guys, we've had a little QA of it, and there's a lot of things I want to do, a lot of tweaking work, such as making edits to the buildings, and this is going to be quite a pain to do in Cubicle. However, Laura's been using a new program called, I think is it Voxel, and I've just put my world in here, and it seems to have a lot more tools to be able to edit. So one of the big pieces of feedback was to sort of incorporate the floor in each individual level, so that the floor isn't an individual level. So if I look at the floor here, where is it? I can find it. Floor. There's the floor. The floor is one big level, and it's really boring to do. So what I'm going to try to do is, I'm going to essentially try jigsaw pieces out of the floor and merge it to parts of the world. So you can see here, we've got the house. So I'm going to try cut this piece of the floor out, so it goes on with the house. And hopefully it'll be easier to do in this software.
Yeah, so I think we've reached, it's Friday, oh no, you haven't said it's Friday yet, do that bit later.
Guys, it's Friday!
It's Friday, yeah, it's Friday. It's been a busy week. By the time this video comes out, the new Coloring Voxels DLC should be out as well, Pastels. I think the store page might be up for the next DLC, we're not sure what it is yet, probably Zodiac by the looks of it. And then next week after this video will be the Cats DLC, which I know Lee's been hard at work on. There's quite a few funny levels in there, so please do try it out.
you.
That'll do.